some exercise. Thank you, Chaviji, for your help. Thank you very much. And if you didn't have time to review some definitions and debates, then we will do that together today. Yeah? Anyway. Okay, so I have some slides. No, it's just the image that we've seen last time. Okay, so this one. Yes, everyone can see it. Yes, okay, fantastic. So, then maybe just to start with, okay, it follows you can posit the importance to study debate. Yes, I see many faces. Except, okay, why? Why do we debate? Because there's nothing good, nothing important on TV.
To clarify meaning and to agree upon meaning and ideas.
Yes, to clarify meanings. Yes, very good. Yes, and what else?
Test our knowledge in terms
Test.
of, Buddhist ideas and concepts.
Yes, test our knowledge. Very good. In terms of Buddhist context, yeah, fantastic. Tara, yes, you gave all the answers for all the sessions. Now you can have some rest. Joking. Yes, please, Maria, yes.
For me, it's also a way to have a better structure and through the structure understand better concepts and ideas and deepen. Because if you have a good structure, you can make the relations and then deepen further on understanding.
Yes, very good. Yes, to understand the relationships between the concepts and so on. Yeah, yes, very good.
Relationships and reasons.
And reasons. Yes, perfect. Yes, to check the reasons because, so many people can give reasons, in politics and in other fields as well. Yeah, but is it a good reason? Is it a perfect reason? Yeah, it's not sure. Not always. So it's good to have some critical minds, critical analysis. Yeah, okay. So just to start, it follows you can posit the definition of existent. Yes, accept. Posit.
Something that can be observed with valid cognition.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we could say observed by valid cognition. Yeah, or something that which is observed by valid cognition and so on. Okay, so it follows that the definition of existent is observed by valid cognition. Yes, accept. Okay, very good. Yes, and I guess you know the definition of permanent. Yes. Okay, what is the definition? Checking the notes, checking the files. Yes. Yes. Or maybe impermanent. It's easier, no? Impermanent. Yes. What is the definition of impermanent?
Phenomena that change moment by moment.
Yes, exactly. Phenomenon that changes moment by moment. Yeah, we could say momentary. Yeah, momentary. That which is momentary or just momentary. Yeah, kshanika. Yeah, in Sanskrit. Very good. Okay, so it follows that the subject momentary is the definition of impermanent. Accept. Okay. Yes. Welcome to the new people. Okay. So it follows that you know the definition of permanent.
That which is not momentary.
Okay. It follows that the subject.
Exist and not.
Yes, very good. It has to exist, yeah, because it belongs to the set existent, yeah, to the category existent. So we have to specify that, yeah. Very good. So a common base between existent and or a common base between phenomenon and non-momentary. Yes, everybody agrees? Okay, it follows that if it is a common base between phenomenon and non-momentary, it's necessarily permanent.
Accept.
It's very good, yes, because it is its definition, yeah? Okay, fantastic. Wow, very good. Okay, so let's check those exercises. Did you have time to check them, or maybe I forgot to send them on the WhatsApp? That's possible. Okay. So let's check, okay, first, maybe before the table, where is table in that design? Yeah, is it in non-existent? No. Okay. Is it in permanent phenomena? Yeah, permanent? No, it is not permanent. Okay, it follows that the subject table belongs to the impermanent category. Yes, okay. And is it a cognition? No, chair, a table, sorry. The subject table doesn't know anything. Yeah. It is not a cognition, and it is not an NACP, yeah, a non-associated compositional phenomenon. Yes. Okay. So if it is not cognition and it is not a non-associated compositional phenomenon and it is impermanent, the only option is
Form.
it is form. Very good. Yes, it is form. It is form because
It is existent, impermanent, has no cognition, and is not an ACP.
yes, very good. Exactly. Yes, we could say because, yes, as Maria said, it is impermanent, but it is no cognition and it is no NECP. So it has to be form. Yeah. There is the only option here. Very good. Okay. So what was the question? I just need to check. Okay. Yes. Yes, table and the color of the table. Oh, between contradictory, equivalent 3P and 4P. I guess everyone remembers what means contradictory, equivalent, and so on, yeah, because we did many sessions about that. But if you have any issue, please dare to ask, yeah. Okay, table and the color of the table. I guess you know the difference between the two, table and the color of the table. Yes, many people know. Okay, who dares to say something?
I will dare just because I know, but 3P?
3P, okay, 3P. Who would go in Maria's club of 3P, the 3P club? Who would go in another club?
4P?
Yes, okay. So, okay. Ah, yes, okay. So, yes, Maria, table and color of the table, they are both forms, yeah? Okay. So they have a common characteristic. Yeah, they have a common characteristic. They have a few common characteristics, like the table and the color of the table, they are both forms, they are both impermanent, they both exist, and so on, yeah? But do you remember the definition of contradictory?
Something that is different but has a common base.
Yes, they are different and they have no common base, yeah?
It's
Tade, kanki, shitumi sipa. Yeah, so this definition is not really Yonzin Purwochak's definition. I found it in pointing the way to reasoning, but yeah, it's very similar with Yonzin Purwochak. Yeah, so they are different and they have no common base, yeah? So no common base it means, it doesn't mean necessarily that they don't have any common characteristics. Yeah, for instance, we could say table and chair. Table and chair, do they have common characteristics?
Yes, they are both forms, they are both existent, they are not what's it called? They have no consciousness and so on.
Exactly, yes. But do you find any common base between the two, table and chair?
Yes, they
Yeah,
are
a common base.
different. They are both diverse and they are
Okay,
both. So in that
okay,
respect, they have
yes,
the same thing,
okay,
the table and the color of the table. So I do find a common base. That's why, but it might be wrong.
okay. Do you remember what is a common base?
Ah, I should not talk.
Checking the notes. Yes, you can bring your notes. Usually in the monastery, we are not allowed to bring any book, but here you can.
Sorry, this is my third or the fourth session.
No problem. You can bring anything you need, even coffee, paracetamol, and so on. Yes, Palaviji, you wanted to say something, no?
I was going to say, is wood, if the substantial material that they are made from, can that be a common base?
Aha. So then maybe we need to check what is a common base in order to decide that, yeah? What is a common base?
Something that can be both.
Yes, a phenomenon that can be both items that we compare, yeah? So can we say that wood is at the same time table and chair?
Yes.
Yes.
Why not?
Okay. So, okay. So, yes, it can be potentially, yes, if you have some pieces of wood, you can still decide, okay, I'm going to make a chair, I'm going to build a table and so on. But when the wood is used as a table, is it used as a chair?
If you want to sit on the table, then it becomes a chair. If you use it if you put your coffee on it, it becomes a table. It's the same
Okay.
thing.
Okay. Okay. So, because maybe table and chair are so similar, but if you use the wood as paper, for instance, to make a book, yeah, to create a book, yeah, can you still use that wood as a table? That's the same wood that you used to make paper for the book?
Yes, a table for kids to play.
Okay. Okay. So you
So
can, it means you want to sit, you want your kids to sit on a book?
No, to play. So it's a table. A table can be also a toy. It can be
Ah,
many things. Again, I'm sorry. Yeah, I should not talk.
yes.
Sorry for talking too much.
That's interesting. Yeah, yes, yes. A table can be used as as a toy and so on. Yeah, okay. Yes. Okay. So, okay. So for instance, okay, you use that wood to make a small hut, to build a small hut. I always dreamed about that when I was a kid. I always wanted a wooden hut. It never happened. Maybe in my next life, I don't know. But I remember, you know, small huts that we had at school, in the garden and so on. So if you use those pieces of wood to build some kind of small hut, can you still use that as a table? So then you could say, okay, I'm sitting on the hut. It is a chair. But when it is built as a hut, yeah, okay. So you could say, yes, I can dismantle the pieces of the wood and use it to do something else. That's possible, yeah. Yeah.
And it depends on how you make the hat. It may have like a corner they can use. I mean, again, the imagination can be very creative.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So now let's stick on the book. Yeah. If you use that wood, you know that most of the papers we use are made of wood. Yeah. We use wood in order to make paper. Yeah, so now that you used those pieces of wood in order to make a book, can you still undo that, dismantle the book and use it as a hut, for instance? It is paper, yeah? And it is not a wooden hut. Even if you use the paper to make a paper hut, it will not be a wooden hut. Yeah, so the wood will not be at the same time the material you could use to make a hut and to build a book. Yeah, it will be one or the other, no?
At any point in time, yes, you're right. Yes, I agree
Yeah.
to this. At any point in time, it will be one or the other. You
Yes.
because otherwise everything is constantly being recycled. The wood goes in, we
Yeah.
change the form, the materials. So at a point in time, a wood is either a table or it's a chair. You're
Yeah.
right. I'm either using it as a chair or I'm using it as a
Very
table.
good.
It's
Yes.
the function of the thing is contradictory. Is
Yes.
that where we are arriving?
Yes, exactly, Falavila, yes. So it means that, a common base has to be both phenomena at the same time.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So do we have any common base between a table and a chair?
No.
No, exactly. I should have started with that.
At the same time, I mean, that is
At
the
the
thing
same
that
time.
because I was
Yeah,
constantly thinking, oh no, it can change into this. Now it can change into that. At the same time,
yeah,
it cannot be.
exactly. It cannot be. And a common base has to be both phenomena at the same time. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a basic rule. Yeah. So it cannot be a book and a hut or a chair and a table or a hut and so on at the same time. Yeah, it can transform into something else. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, so it follows that there is no common base between table and chair.
Except.
Accept, very good. So that's what we mean when we say common base. Yeah. So now let's go back to the illustration here. Do we find any common base, even wood, that could be at the same time a table and the color of a table?
No. Why?
No, because that's okay. So it follows that there is no common base between a table and the color of a table.
Except.
There is no common base between the table and the color of the table because
And there is no common base between a table and the color of the table because the color of the table is a characteristic of the table. It has the color, and the table is the characterized phenomenon.
yes, fantastic. Wow, incredible. Yes. Fantastic.
Can't it just be their different phenomena?
Yes, but
Quite
if we
sure why
say,
we even say common base then, because I mean, it
yeah,
can only be itself.
yes, because if we say that because they are different, then for
Phenomena.
two phenomena to be different, it's not enough to be contradictory. Yeah, you could find, for instance,
Yeah.
yes, functioning thing and impermanent are different, but they are not contradictory, yeah? So yes, they need to be different, but the specific thing here is that they have no common base. Yeah, the table is characterized as being blue, for instance. Yeah, it has the color blue, but it is not the color blue. It's not its color. Yeah, a color is not a table is not a color. Yeah, but both can be or have to be in one sense linked. Yeah, they have to be one entity. Yeah, you cannot find the color of a table without the table. You cannot find a table without a table which has a color. Yeah, is it clear for everyone? So the table, it follows that the subject table and the color of the table are different.
Can we say that the color of the table is a part of the table, or is it a
Yes.
characteristic?
Yes, we could say that it is a part of the table. That's a possibility. Yeah. It's a
Okay.
characteristic or a part of the table. Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right. So then part and whole are never don't have a common base. They're always contradictory.
Exactly. Yes. Fantastic, Minutiji. Yes. That's exactly that. Yeah. The whole and its parts are necessarily contradictory. Very good. Still, there are one entity. Yeah. When the part still belongs to the whole. Yeah. If, of course, you have a broken table, for instance, you have some part of the table in the garden and the table in the in the kitchen, for instance. So the part and the whole would be different entities. Yeah. But still, if the table is not broken, it still has all the parts together, then the whole and its parts are necessarily contradictory, but they are one entity. If you find one, you necessarily find the others. Yeah. Very good. Fantastic. So what would you say for table and the color of the table? Contradictory, equivalent, 3P, 4P?
Contradictory.
Contradictory. Yes, very good. Fantastic. Yeah, everyone agrees? Okay, if someone disagrees, please dare to say, no, I don't agree. Yes, we could find some other reasonings. Yeah, that's possible. Okay. Here, of course, we could not say that the table and the color of the table have common base. Yeah, it's not possible. Yeah, but in some other cases, yeah, you could find some other reasonings, yeah, to contradict what we say here. Yeah? Okay, very good. So we have the first answer: table and color of the table contradictory. Yeah. Now, if we check, okay, do you remember the definition of impermanent?
Changing moment to moment.
Yes, exactly. Changing moment by moment. Yeah. So momentary. Yeah. Or what could we say? Momentary. Yeah. Changing moment by moment or momentary. Yeah. Okay. Very good. So usually we use that definition, momentary. Yeah. And it's easier when we debate quickly. It's easier to say. Okay. Do you remember the definition of form? Maybe we haven't spoken about that. Yeah, it's quite easy. Yeah, the definition of form, it's not really meaningful in one sense. It doesn't help too much to understand what is form. Yeah.
A phenomena which has substance.
Ah, okay. A phenomenon which has substance. Okay, so we could say that any phenomenon which is impermanent has a substance. Yeah? Even mind has a substance. Yeah, but not substance like in in Western physics. You know, in Western physics, we could say that only matter has some substance. But according to the Sautrantika and the other tenets, what is impermanent is a substance. Yeah. So we could say like even time, the present time has a substance in order to change. Yeah. So the definition of form is that which is suitable to be a form. Very easy, not meaningful. Zupsuronwa. Zupsuronwa in Tibetan. Because we just need to see or to hear or to taste or to smell a form. Yeah, that's why. That's why it's not really meaningful. So if someone asks you what is the definition of emptiness according to the Prasangika, you could say that which is suitable to be emptiness according to the Prasangika. Then there is no mistake. Okay, so form is defined as suitable to be a form. So now it follows you can posit the difference between the two, form and impermanent.
Oh, sorry, Christopher, can we also say form is something, a phenomena which has material parts and temporal parts?
Yeah, so it would follow that mind is not, yes, that's true, for form, yeah. Yes, material parts and
Temporal.
temporal parts. Yes, I would accept. Yes. Yes, very good. You could write a new commentary on the Sautrantika Trilogy.
No,
And you
Christopher,
could
this is Geshe-la's teaching.
Yes, exactly. Because even some subtle forms, they necessarily have parts anyway, and they necessarily have temporal parts as well, yeah? So that works, yeah. Very good, fantastic. Yes, okay. Very good. So who would say
Can we
contradictory?
also, sorry, can we
Yeah,
also
please.
say form is something that occupies space?
Yes, I would agree as well, yeah, exactly. Because any kind of form, if we put aside, you know, the forms for the Sautrantika which are only observed by mental cognitions, yeah, if we put aside them, like the blue sky, when you dream about blue sky, there is no really form here, yeah, in your dream consciousness. Yeah, so it's a kind of form for the mental consciousness only. So if we put them aside, those forms, yes, we could say yes, exactly. Yes, they are as you describe, yeah. Very good. Very good. We can have many commentaries on the Sautrantika. Very good. Okay. Yes, form is very broad. Yeah, we could say it's kind of matter. It can be subtle form. Yes, exactly. Yes, and it is within space, because even uh, yeah, because even for the Sautrantika, the smallest particles, they necessarily are a little bit coarser than in the Vaibhashika tenet. For the Vaibhashika tenet, the smallest particles, they don't have any dimensions. They cannot be divided anymore. So we could ask ourselves, do they exist within space? Because they cannot be divided anymore. But in the Sautrantika, it seems, according to some texts, that they are a little bit grosser. So we could say, yes, they have to exist within space. Exactly. Okay, wow, fantastic. So who would say contradictory between form and impermanent? Yes, Maria. Okay. It follows that the subject, the two, form and impermanent, are contradictory. Accept. Okay. Okay. So it follows that form is necessarily not impermanent. Yeah, if form and impermanent are contradictory, it follows that if it is form, it's necessarily not impermanent. It's necessarily not changing moment by moment.
So are we then talking of conceptual form?
We could say just form itself, you know, the generality form, which is a generality, and form which is, you know, which has dimensions, yeah, you know, which has parts, temporal parts, and which has parts within space, and form which is equivalent with matter in the according to the Sautrantika. Yeah?
Okay.
In my mind, it was the previous the union, so the part. So form is part of impermanent, and it's the form as a definition, right? As a kind of not as a material object or something like that, but as a notion.
Ah, okay. So maybe you mean the concept of form. Okay. So we could say that the concept of form, according to the Sautrantika, if we speak like with some technicity, the meaning generality of form is necessarily not form, is temporary permanent. The meaning generality or the concept of form is necessarily not form. Yeah.
Why is
4P.
For P
sorry,
for Z. Okay, yes, Minutiji.
I was wondering, why is the meaning generality of form, not form?
Yes, because for the Sotrantika, I could say maybe for the main tenets, mainly it's mainly accepted among tenets that a concept has two sides, you know. One side is cognition, because it is produced by a seed in our mental cognition, mental consciousness. Yeah, so one side is impermanent, but the content of the concept is a permanent phenomenon. Yeah, it is. Of course, if it is an affirming negation, it's not necessarily permanent, but the concept, the content of a concept is an affirming negation, which is permanent. Yeah, it is temporary permanent because for according to the Acharya Dharmakirti, if it is the appearing object to a conceptual mind, it has to be permanent. It's a kind of rule. Yeah, so a concept is the appearing object to thought consciousness, so it has to be permanent. Because it's a kind of, you know, construction, abstraction, conceptual abstraction in one sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to think about that one. I haven't got grasped it fully, but I will think about it. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, that's something that we study more when we, maybe when we will delve into maybe the last equivalent with existent. Yeah, it's hidden phenomenon. Hidden phenomenon, yeah. A phenomenon which is realized in the hidden manner by the thought consciousness apprehending it. Yeah. So it means that any phenomenon can be inferred. We can infer any phenomenon. Yeah. So, and when we infer, when we analyze and so on, we use the conceptual mind. And for Acharya Dharmakirti, those are appearing objects to the conceptual mind are mere fabrications. They are merely imputed by a term or a concept. So that's why they are like a conventional truth for the Sotrantika following reasoning. They are conventions, you know, they are not the real reality in one sense. Yeah. Okay, but form is a real reality. Yeah, form is really something that you can see, hear, smell, and so on, something which is real, yeah, in one sense. It's an ultimate truth. It's ultimately able to perform function. Tushita. Yeah, very good. So if we say, Maria, did you say 3P? Or contradictory? No, contradictory.
Tushita said 3P, if I remember.
Ah, now it shifts. Okay, very good. Who says 3P now? Yeah, between form and impermanent.
And 3P.
3P. And Sitan Wamola, you said 4P, yeah?
Change to 3P.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's 3P. So it follows that you can all posit an illustration of something which is both form and impermanent, yeah? Because if we say 3P, we necessarily have a common base, yeah? So what can be form and impermanent? Easy.
Table.
Yes, the subject table, very good. The subject table, it follows it is form.
Except
Yes, it is form because
because it is suitable to be a form.
yes,
It has
fantastic.
material and temporal parts.
Yes, very good. You could have said, yeah, chupa chups. The subject chupa chups is form. That's a very good illustration. Yeah, thank you. You have a good help in the room. Very good. Fantastic. Okay, so if it is suitable to be a form, it's necessary form.
Except.
Yes, very good. And the subject, chupa chups, is impermanent.
Except.
Yes, it is impermanent because
Because it changes moment by moment.
yes, fantastic. It follows that if it is changing moment by moment, because it comes from the left on the screen and it goes on the right to the right on the screen, so it's changing moment by moment. Yes, that's a good illustration. Very good. Yes, it's changing moment by moment. So it is impermanent.
Except.
Yes, fantastic. So we have a common base between the two, form and impermanent, yeah? So if we say 3P, it follows that you can posit the pervasion. What would be the pervasion between the two?
Form is impermanent, but impermanent is not necessarily a form.
Yes, very good, Sitamomola. Yes, if it is form, it's necessarily impermanent. But if it is impermanent, it's not necessarily form, yeah? Everybody agrees? Yes? Okay. So it follows that you can posit an illustration of impermanent, something which is impermanent, but is not form.
Except
Yes, what could it be?
consciousness.
Yes, the subject consciousness. It follows it is impermanent.
Except.
Yes, it is impermanent. For instance, eye consciousness, like seeing, for instance, the color, the pink color of a paper, then the yellow color of a paper, then apprehending the name Chupa Chups on the color and so on. Yeah, so the eye consciousness is changing moment by moment because its objects are changing as well. Very good illustration. 대표님 모두들 이 가도 뭐 모여래다. 대표님 모두 그제나 가린 책 문에래. Oh, that's so. Then, okay, so it follows like consciousness is impermanent, but consciousness is not form.
Except
Yes, consciousness is not form because,
it is not suitable to be a form.
yes, it follows that if it is not suitable to be a form, it's necessarily not a form.
Except.
Yes, very good. So now, if we say 3P, it follows that you can posit an illustration of something which is none of them, which is not form and not impermanent. Yeah?
Except
Yes, posit.
uncompounded space.
Yes, uncompounded space. It follows that the subject uncompounded space is necessarily not form.
Except
It is not form because?
it is permanent.
Yes, very good. It follows that if it is permanent, it's necessarily not form.
Except
Fantastic. And the subject uncompounded space is not impermanent.
except
It is not impermanent because
because it doesn't change moment by moment.
very good. It follows that if it doesn't change moment by moment, it's necessarily not impermanent.
Except
Yes, very good. Okay. So yes, we have 3P. Yes, we have 3P. So something which is both. We said chupa chups, for instance, or table. Yes, something which is impermanent but not form, cognition, consciousness, and so on. Yeah. And something which is none of them and it exists, like for instance, uncompounded space. We could say, of course, horn of the rabbit, but it's much more useful to speak about something which exists. Yeah. A phenomenon. Yeah. So that's fantastic. Yeah, we have 3P. Yeah, everybody agrees? Okay, wow, very good. Very good. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so now it's a bit more complex. So let's check again the file. So if you remember, just I wanted to, yes, maybe it's here. Okay, easy. Okay, so non-self or selfless, yeah, selflessness, that's same, yeah. That's just different ways to speak about the same phenomenon. So non-self or selfless or selflessness, yeah. Then within selflessness, we have non-existent, existent, and within existent, we have permanent, impermanent, and so on. So what would you say between the two, permanent and selfless? Contradictory, equivalent, 3P, 4P. Headache. That could be another answer. Yeah, between the two, permanent and selfless. What could it be?
Non-self is outside of existent phenomena.
So yes, we could say that non-self is the broadest category, and existent phenomena, so phenomena belongs to selfless. Yeah, it is. You know, we could say that the clouds here, the one cloud is non-existent, the other cloud is existent. They are within the space or within the sky of selfless.
Yes. Then 3P.
3P. Okay, 3P for Chaviji. Who would say so? Who would say 4P? 5P? So of course, always the first step is always to check if we have any common base. Yeah, so if we find any common base, then it's not contradictory. Then after, do you find something which is exclusive to one and not to the other, and so on? Yeah? Oh, so let's start with 3P. Okay. So it follows you can posit an illustration of something which is both permanent and selfless, or selflessness, or non-self, as you wish.
Truth,
Sorry.
truth.
Ah, the truth. Ah, interesting. Yes. Wow. Yes, we could say so. Because if we divide truth, we have conventional truth and ultimate truth, yeah? Yeah, everybody agrees? Okay, so, and we said that conventional truth means permanent for the Sotrantaka following reasoning. Yeah, that's very specific. And ultimate truth means impermanent. Yeah, so truth itself has some permanent, includes permanent phenomena and includes impermanent phenomena. So truth itself is permanent. Yeah. Wow, incredible. I never thought about that. That's why it's so useful to debate with other people, yeah? Not with IA, with other human beings. Okay, fantastic. So, yes, truth, it follows it is permanent. Yes, it is permanent because?
Because it has two parts, impermanent, part of it that's impermanent, ultimate and non-ultimate, but also because it is something that has common base between momentary and what was the other one? Sorry, learning.
A common base between non-momentary and
Where is it? There is a common base. Sorry, I'm learning. Apologies.
no problem. It's the debate is done for that as well, to learn the definitions. Yeah. Yeah. So if it is okay, so we could say that yes, truth, because it's a generality which
A common
has
base. A common base.
yeah
A common base and non-momentary. That's
yeah the common base between phenomenon and non-momentary.
momentary. Yeah.
Yes. So yes, it follow. Yes, that's the definition of permanent. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So it follows that if it is, yes, we could say that because it's a generality which has permanent instances and impermanent instances, it is a permanent generality. Yeah, that's true. Very good. We could say so as well. Or we could say we could give the definition of permanent, like it's a common base between phenomenon and non-momentary. Yeah. Yeah, everybody agrees? Okay, very good. So if it is a common base between phenomenon and non-momentary, it's necessarily permanent. Yes, fantastic. And the subject, truth, is selfless. Yes, it is selfless because
It has no self. It has no cognition, right? So
yes. Okay. Okay. So it follows that it has no cognition. Okay. Okay, it has no self. Okay, let's keep this one to make it simpler. Okay, so it follows that if it has no self, it's necessarily selfless. Fantastic. Yeah, so yes, truth, yes, is a common base between permanent and selfless. Okay, so if we say 3P, we need to posit the perversion.
Actually, I would like to alter my answer to 3P with neither.
Okay.
Without with the neither.
Yes, Shaviji, more precise. Very good. So 3P without anything which is neither. Okay. Okay. So anyway, in 3P or 3P, which with what is the way to say that? 3P without anything which is neither, yeah. So we have in anyway a perversion, yeah. Okay, so what is the perversion?
What if it is permanent, it is necessarily a non-self, but if it is a non-self, it is not necessarily permanent.
Very good. Yes, fantastic. So yes, if it is permanent, it's necessarily non-self, but if it is non-self, it's not necessarily permanent, yeah? Can we posit something which is non-self but is not permanent?
Table.
Flower.
Yes. What
Table.
what could it be? A table and
Flower.
flower. Okay. Okay. So it follows that if it is non-self and it is not permanent, it's necessarily impermanent.
No pervasion.
Accept.
Okay. So it follows accept. Okay.
Yes, because of the diagram.
Okay,
Oh
because
no,
of
it can
the
be non-existent. No, no, no.
yes. Yes,
Change.
exactly. It can be non-existent. It's not necessarily impermanent because non-self is the broadest category. So yes, it includes non-existent as well. Yeah, so it's not because it is non-self and not permanent that it has to be impermanent. It can be just another a bit. Yes, very good. Everybody agrees? Okay, very good. Yeah, so we could say chair, flower, horn of the rabbit. They are non-self, but they are not permanent. Yeah. Okay, but yes, If we say just 3P, it means that there is something which is neither, which is not permanent and not selfless or not non-self. Then something which is not permanent and which is a self. And in that case, of course, when we exclude self, we don't mean like just the person. The person is a self conventionally. Yes, self, person, and me, you know, they are equivalent. Like dark in Tibetan, Kansak, and Nga in Tibetan, yeah, they are equivalent. We could say also maybe why not Kiebu, an individual. Yeah, they are equivalent. So conventionally, a self or a person exists. Yeah, a person which is imputed, independence on the aggregates and so on. But here, when we exclude self, we exclude a self-sufficient substantial self. Yeah. So if we say that there is no self, then it means there is a self-sufficient substantial self, but it's not accepted at all. Yeah, according to the Sotrantika and the other schools. Yeah, maybe some Vaibhashika they would accept that kind of self-sufficient substantial self, yeah, like the Pudgalavadin and so on. Yeah, but otherwise, in the mainstream of Buddhist philosophy, it is only an object of negation. Yeah, the self-sufficient substantial self. So yes, there is no self-sufficient substantial self. So there is nothing which is not permanent and not non-self. Everybody agrees? Yeah, please.
What about God as a definition?
God.
Not
God.
God in the Buddhist definition, not in the the other religions.
Okay. So we could say that if we speak about the Deva, a Deva
Yes.
exists. A Deva exists, and there are many types of Deva. The desire Devas, the form Devas, and the formless Devas, they are all existent. Yeah. So, and they are persons. So they are necessarily impermanent, and they are necessarily selfless.
Why impermanent? There is I understand the selfless, but I don't understand the impermanent, because I understand that the beginning and the end. I mean, the end we don't know, but the beginning can vary. But in a way, it is permanent.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, maybe you speak about another type of Deva, maybe the creator, the God, the creator God of the universe. Yeah, like Ishwara, no?
For example, yes. I mean, again, it can take different meanings. It could be also, what
Okay.
we are trying to achieve, right? The state of where
Yeah.
so we try to be the Buddhas, the inner Buddhas. So it's also
Okay.
depends how you define it. But for Buddha,
Yes.
it's a state, but it's also for us also a self, a permanent self or selfless. So it can
Okay.
have both forms, both the self as a state, selfless as a state, and self as a
Okay.
Buddha nature person. I don't know. Sorry.
Okay. Yes. If we speak about the Buddha, which is like not the Dharmakaya, because the Dharmakaya is Buddha, but it's not an Arya Buddha. An Arya Buddha is necessarily a person, an Arya. Yeah, an Arya is a person. But if we speak about the Buddha jewel, yeah, we speak about the Kayas. And Rupakaya is necessarily impermanent, but the Dharmakaya is permanent, because there is one part which is impermanent, the Jnana Dharmakaya, yeah, the omniscient mind, and there is the Swabhavikakaya, which is permanent. So the Dharmakaya itself is permanent. But if it is a Dharmakaya, it's not necessarily permanent. It can be the Jnana Dharmakaya, which is necessarily impermanent. But the Dharmakaya as the ultimate Buddha jewel, that's the ultimate, according to Arya Maitreya in the Uttara Tantra Shastra, that's the ultimate Buddha jewel, and it is necessarily permanent, it is necessarily not a person. So in that case, we cannot say that at the same time it is a person and at the same time it is permanent. It has to be one or the other. Yeah. So if we speak about the Dharmakaya, it is permanent and it is selfless, because one part of the Swabhavika Kaya is the how do you say, the natural pure Dharmakaya. Yeah. And it means it has always been empty of inherent existence. Yeah, so it means that's the emptiness of the mind of the Buddha. It is one part of the Swabhavika Kaya. The other part is the adventitious purity, when the obstructions have been eliminated. Yeah. So these two parts, Swabhavika Kaya is necessarily permanent. So that's why the Dharmakaya itself is permanent, because there is one part in one sense which is permanent, and one part in one sense which is impermanent.
The Swabhavika is the one that brings the joy and the happiness, right? So it's this part of it.
Yes, we could say that the Swabhavika Kaya is permanent, necessarily permanent, because it is an emptiness of inherent existence of the mind of the Buddha, and the other one is the emptiness of the obstructions. Yeah, all the obstructions, yeah, the afflictive obstruction and cognitive obstructions have been totally eliminated, and the emptiness of those obstructions is also one part of the Swabhavika Kaya. We could say that the bliss, the infinite happiness, is one characteristic of the mind of the Buddha.
Which is of the man of the subra, this side of the mind of the Dharmakaya. Because
Yes, it is. Yes, it is the bliss, which is one entity with the jnana dharmakaya, yeah, the mind of the Buddha. Yeah. So it is necessarily, this bliss is necessarily impermanent, and the mind of the Buddha is necessarily impermanent. And all the kayas are necessarily selfless. So
Kaya
that's
is a
why.
way, right? So it is selfless.
Sorry?
Kaya is a way, which is, the way to do something.
Yeah, it means kaya. Kaya means dimension in one sense. Yeah, it can mean a body, but the mind of the Buddha is not a body, and the Swabhavika Kaya is not a body. So we can say it's a dimension of the enlightenment in one sense. Yeah. Okay, very good.
Sorry, I wanted to just recall this. When you said, so Dharmakaya is permanent.
Yes.
And under Dharmakaya, Jnana Dharmakaya is impermanent.
Yes.
And Swabhavika Kaya is permanent.
Yes, very good.
And Rupakaya, both are impermanent, as well as
Yeah,
Rupakaya.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
Rupakaya is divided into two, Sambhogakaya and Nirmanakaya, and both are necessarily impermanent. Even if the Sambhogakaya endures or remains as long as samsara exists, it is changing moment by moment anyway. Yeah.
And this is according to all tenets?
We could say that the Vaibhashika and Sotrantika, they don't accept the Sambhogakaya, for instance. Yeah, they don't accept exactly the same. This presentation of the Kayas is according to the Mahayana schools, Chittamatra and Madhyamaka. Yeah.
Okay.
So if we say that the one part of the Swabhavika Kaya is emptiness of inherent existence of the Jnana Dharmakaya, then in that case, it's Prasangika. If we say it's empty of true existence, then it can be Madhyamaka, Swatantrika or Prasangika. And if we say that it is empty of different substantial entities, then it is Chittamatra.
Different substantial externality.
Yes. Yes, with the mind and no externality, exactly. If it is empty of externality, then it means it is the subtle selflessness of the Chittamatra. Yeah. Very
Thank
good. Wow. Incredible. Incredible. Okay. So everybody agrees. Sorry for those digressions. But yes, we cannot find anything which is not permanent and not selfless. Yeah, because it would have to be a self, a self-substantial, self-sufficient substantial self. And there is no at all, yeah, according to the Sotrantika and the higher tenets, yeah. Okay, so it's exactly 3P without anything which is neither. Wow, so nice. Okay, so this one, double headaches with this one, different from one and one with different. Wow, 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 wow. Totally crazy. Different from one and one with different. You remember what we saw during the previous sessions is that if we divide existent, we can say different and one. Yeah. Okay. So that's very important here because even for the Madhyamaka, for instance, they would say if it is not one and not different, it doesn't exist. If it is not inherently one with the aggregates or not inherently different with the aggregates, then it doesn't exist inherently. That's beautiful, yeah? So that's so important, yeah? Okay, so now you know the definition of one. Checking in the notes, checking on Google Rinpoche. The definition of one.
A phenomena that is not diverse.
Yes, very good.
This is not Rinpoche. This is not memory Rinpoche.
It is not Google Rinpoche. The notes Rinpoche. Okay. Very good, Utempemola. Yes, so the definition of one is a phenomenon which is not one, which is not diverse. A phenomenon which is not diverse. Yeah. So even for the conceptual mind, it is not diverse. It exists, and even for the conceptual mind, it is not diverse. Like pot. Pot is one with pot. Yeah, we could say that blue pot is not one with pot. Blue pot is different from pot. Yeah. Okay, very good. Fantastic. So it follows that you have the definition of different. Easy.
Diverse phenomena.
Yes, very good. Halala, very good. Diverse phenomena. Yeah, very good. It follows that the subject diverse phenomena is the definition of different. I accept. Very good. So now if we know the definition of one and the definition of different, okay, so now yes, different has to be different at least in name. It can be different in meaning or in name and meaning. Yeah, for the conceptual mind, like blue pot, clay pot, how do you say, big pot, small pot. They are necessarily different from pot. Yeah. Okay, so now if we check different from one and one with different, oh, this one is crazy. So maybe you can check maybe first the second one, it's easier. One with different. What in the multiverse is the only thing which is one with different?
Different.
Yes, very good, Sitamomola. Different, the subject different is the only phenomenon in the universe that is one with different. Yeah, because there is no conceptual difference. Yeah, different and different. Yeah, they are not different. Different is one with different. Yeah, so it's a bit tricky. Yeah, but if you think about that, the only phenomenon which is one with different, it's only different. Yeah. Okay. So even if we say diverse phenomena, the subject diverse phenomena is not one with different. Yeah. because only different itself is one with different. So everything else, every other phenomena are necessarily different from different. Even the definition of different is different from different. Yeah, diverse phenomena, it is different not in meaning, but in name, in within the designation. Yeah, because that's the same meaning. Yeah, diverse phenomena means different, and different means diverse phenomena. So the meaning is exactly the same. Yeah, that's why we can say they are equivalent in Tibetan Chik. It means the same meaning, one meaning. Yeah, one object. Yeah. Okay. So diverse phenomena is different from different. So it is not one with different. Yeah, everybody agrees with those crazy things? So if you keep in mind that only pot is one with pot, only table is one with table, so only different is one with different. Yeah, so anything else which exists is necessarily different from different. Okay. So now, what means different from one? Does it include non-existent?
No.
No, very good. No, because
It's just a phenomena.
exactly. Yes, very good, Satamomola, exactly. Yeah, if we say different, it means diverse phenomena. So we exclude non-existent. Yeah, horned rabbit, blue unicorn, and so on. We put them aside. Yeah. So it it includes any existent which is not one itself. Just one. Yeah, the with just O-N-E. Just those three letters all together, it is just one. Yeah. So even the definition of one phenomenon which is not diverse is different from one. Yeah, it is not one with one. Only one is one with one. Everybody accepts? The subject one is the only phenomenon which is one with one. Yes. Okay. Gymnastic, yeah. Conceptual gymnastic. Okay, so even, yes, please.
But then there is the difference between name and meaning.
Yes.
Because
So like fine. Yes,
color,
please.
if you put the color as a meaning, it is
Yeah,
different. So it's different from one. But
exactly.
name is one.
Yeah. Name is one.
Because it's a, color is it's a word. It has it describes
Yeah.
something. So it's a name.
Yes, we could say it's a definiendum. In one sense, it's a definiendum.
So in
It's
that means it's color. It's color. It's one. It's one. But
yes.
the color as a meaning can have many. It's a diverse phenomenon.
Yes, we could say that the meaning of color is that which is suitable to be a hue.
Right.
That's the definition of color. So that's the meaning of color exactly. So that's why color is one, but color and its definition are different.
Right.
Color and suitable to be a hue are different. Exactly. And color is one, but is it one with one?
No. Depends
No.
again. What do you consider one? Again, it's the same thing. The name and the meaning.
Yes, it can include both because
Right.
a definiendum like color necessarily has a meaning. Yeah, has a definition because it's a definiendum. Yeah.
But
Okay.
one
So
is
if we say
not a
for instance,
the one can also be a definiendum because it has a name, but it has
yeah,
also a meaning.
exactly. One is a definiendum because it has a definition. What is the definition of one?
Something that belongs to itself and has, I cannot remember the description, we just said it before, a phenomenon which is not diverse.
Yes, a phenomenon which is not diverse. That's the definition of one, yeah? So
Yeah.
it follows that one is the definiendum of a phenomenon which is not diverse.
Right.
Yes, very good. So one is one, and one is one with one.
One is one with one, right?
Right? It is both, yeah? One is one,
Yes,
and one is one with one.
I agree.
Okay. And phenomenon which is not diverse is one, but it is not one with one.
Correct. Accept.
Yes. Table is one, but table is not one with one.
Yes, accept.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's like this that we can learn, yeah. We repeat a lot, yeah. So, okay, so it follows that the subject, a phenomenon which is not diverse is one.
Phenomenon which is not diverse is different, and different is one.
Yeah, the phenomenon which is not diverse, it follows it is one definition.
It's
Yeah,
different.
it's not two definitions or three
It's one,
definitions, it's
yes,
just
yes.
one definition. Yeah,
Yes, it's one that it's accept because it's existent, it's a phenomenon, but it's not one, so it's a diverse phenomenon by definition.
okay. Okay, so let's repeat this point, yeah? Yeah, we can say that the subject one is one definiendum, yeah? We have many definiendums and it is just one definiendum, yeah, one.
Correct.
And the definition of one is diverse, phenomenon which is not diverse, yeah? That's the
Correct.
definition of one. It is one definition among many definitions. We select just one definition, yeah? Phenomenon which is not diverse. Everybody agrees?
Accept. I'm sorry.
Yes. No, it's a yes, please. Then I have someone to debate with. Okay. So it follows that the subject phenomenon which is not diverse is one definition among many definitions.
Correct. Accept.
Yes, very good. So it is one definition. So it follows it is one.
One out of many.
Exactly. Yeah. So because it is one definition, it's necessarily one. Because it is one definition, it's not two
one definition, it's
definitions.
a unique definition. Yeah, one.
Yes, exactly. It's a unique definition, so it is one. But it is not one with one because it is different from one. It is the definition of one. So it is not one with
Exactly.
one.
I accept.
Very good. Fantastic. Wow. So nice. Yeah. How to entertain people during a meal with your colleagues. Then you can discuss about that. You will never get bored. They can be, but you will never. Yes, fantastic. So the subject pot is one. Yes, it is one because
It is it's existent and non-diverse phenomenon.
exactly because it's a phenomenon which is not diverse. It follows that if it's a phenomenon which is not diverse, it's necessarily one. Yes, very good. And the subject pot is not one with one.
No,
Okay, so it is different from one.
it is different from one. Yes.
Fantastic. So now if you are comfortable with those debates, now you can try to find a common base between the two, different from one. So it's any existent which is not just one itself, one. So it's any other existent, and one with different. What can it be?
The only thing that's one with different is different. So
Yes, fantastic. So the list is very short. There is
different.
only one. Yes, exactly. Fantastic, Maria. There is only one item that can be both different from one and one with different. because there is only one item that can be one with different. It's just different itself.
Different, yeah.
Yeah. So different is one with different, and the subject different is different from one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Accept.
Very good, Patrick. Wow. You are all already experts in the dialectics. That's very good. Really, really, I really appreciate. Really. Yeah, because we have to check something which is both and only different is both. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we can go further. It follows that the subject different is one with different. Yes.
Accept, accept.
Okay, very good. It is one with different because
It's an existing phenomenon that is not diverse.
yes, from
Other so from one
different.
from different, sorry. From
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because if we say because it's a phenomenon which is not diverse, then we could say pot. Pot is a phenomenon which is not diverse.
yeah,
But is it one with different? Yeah, it is one, but not one with different. Very good. So only different, okay, is one with different because it's a phenomenon which is not diverse from different. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So nice. And the subject different is different from one. Yes, I
yes,
see many
accept,
types.
yes.
Yes. The subject different is different from one because
Because it's a diverse phenomenon. So because different is one only with different.
exactly, yes, different is only one with different. So different is different from any other thing. Yeah. So yes, different is a phenomenon which is diverse from one. Okay, very good. So if it is a phenomenon which is diverse from one, it's necessarily different from one.
Accept.
Very good. So if we say that, then we proved that different is the only item that can be both different from one and one with different. Very good. So now who would say 3p, 4p equivalent? We cannot say contradictory because we have a common base. We have something which is both.
3P.
3p. Okay, Charlie 3p. Who can find 4p? Who can find 5, 6? Okay, let's try with 3p. So we already well, we already saw the common base. So it follows you can posit the perversion. Accept.
Accept.
Yes, posit.
Whatever is one with different must necessarily be different. Sorry. Okay, this is difficult.
Yes, I agree.
There is only one object. Can it be 3p?
Ah, yes, because one object is something which is both. Yeah, that's the common base. So then after you can check if there is something which is exclusively A or exclusively B and so on. Yeah, without being A and so on. That's something which is A,
Perversion
not B.
means one is the one, but not the other. So
Yeah. Yes, exactly. The perversion would be if it is A, it's necessarily B, but if it's B, it's not necessarily A. Or the way around. If it is B, it's necessarily A. But if it
yeah,
is
but
A,
if it's but that means exactly that if it's the common thing is only one, then how can you make sure that
yes. So in that case, because you double check each point, then you will see that yes, what Chaviji is saying, yeah, the premises of the answers from Chavila is that's correct, yeah. If we say, yeah, you maybe Chaviji, you can try again. We will see that. We will double check.
Whatever is one with different must necessarily be different from one,
Yes.
but
But
whatever is different from one may not necessarily, it doesn't make sense to me. Sorry, I tried.
well, that works. That works.
I am able to find an A which is not B, but not B which is not A.
Okay. Yes. Very good. So we can verbalize that like this. If it is one with different, it's necessarily different from one. Because whatever is one with different is necessarily different. Yeah. Different is different from one. But if it is different from one, it's not necessarily one with different. Yeah. Because pot is different from one. Is it one
Yes.
with different?
It is not one with different.
Very good. The subject pot is not one with different because?
Because only different is one with different.
Yes, only different is one with different. So pot is necessarily not one with different because it is different from different.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. So yes, pot,
Can we say pot is one with pot?
pot is one with pot, exactly. So if pot is one with pot, it's necessarily not one with different. Yeah, very good. And pot is not one with one because it is one with pot. So it's necessarily different from one. Yes, very good. So yes, pot is an illustration of something which is different from one, but not one with different. Everybody agrees? After one more coffee? No, maybe not coffee. Maybe Tibetan tea. Okay, very strong. Okay, so if we say 3P, then we can posit something which is none of them, which is not different from one and not one with different.
Except
Yes, what could it be?
horn of a rabbit.
Oh, no, the rabbit. Very good. That's a very good answer, Shaviji. But if we speak about phenomena, can we find something which is none of them?
It's only one. That's my
Yeah.
confusion.
Exactly. Yes, Maria, very good. Only one. That's just one. Yeah, one exists and is not different from one. And one is not one with different. Yeah, so yes, horns on the rabbit. That's perfect if we speak about non-existent.
Which
But
is interesting. Sorry.
if we speak about existent, the only possible answer is just one itself. Yeah, one. Yes, Maria.
What's wonderful here is that the common is the different, and then non-common is the one that is not none in both is the one. So the two form the two extremes
Yes. Yes, exactly.
in
Exactly.
the phenomenon world.
Yeah, exactly, because those formulations are quite opposite, yeah, different from one and one from different. Yeah, so only different is one with different. And if we are checking something which is none of them, it has to be not different from one and not one with different, yeah, among existent, of course, yeah, because otherwise Ronald Rabbit perfectly works. But if we need something which exists, only one exists and is not different from one because it is one with one. And one is not one with different. It's necessarily different from different. Yeah. Wow, fantastic. Wow, I don't know if I have something more. No. Oh, yeah, this one. Maybe for next time, because it's quite heavy that what we've done today. Tara is already in a pure land. Okay, so for next time, I will send you some more exercises. Then just to be familiar with those, existent, permanent, impermanent. Then we will try to check also existent, impossible to be, existent, possible to be, and so on. We try to play with that. And just for now, it's fantastic. All your answers are just really, really amazing. Yeah, really, I'm amazed because it's not so easy, but you manage very well. Yeah. So yeah, very good. For the sake of all the beings, for the sake of all the long life and very good health of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and for freedom of all the people in the on the planet. Tibet may be free one day. We can pray for that as well, and for all the other people that are not free, may they be free as quick as possible, as soon as possible. Yeah. And for the sake of all the beings, yeah, may we all obtain enlightenment as quick as possible, as soon as possible. Yeah. Thank you so much. It was really great. Really, I really appreciate it. Really fantastic. Yeah. See you next time. And maybe on Monday for some debates. We're going to
Thank
debate
you.
club on Monday. Otherwise, see you next time. Thank you, Chaviji, for your
Bye-bye.
help. Take care.
everybody.
See you soon.
You, Limla.